So I put a community poll out recently, and it actually turned out that at least at the time of recording, which is 23 minutes past 1 in the morning on the 6th of the 4th, Order Malleus are the faction that you guys want to see the most. So here we go, here's a little bit of Order Malleus. Now, just some foresight here. I'm not my usual Saturday night Torpid. It is 1:20 in the morning and I've just woke up. I'm up really early, straight on the casting grind. So I'd appreciate if you guys appreciate this kind of content, drop the like and subscribe and comment down below to help us out in the algorithm. Got to keep boosting those views. I don't know how I got over 2,000 views the other day on one of the videos. I don't know what the hell happened there, but that was madness. Imagine if we could get that all the time. Wow, we're having a whole lot more casts, let me tell you that. But either way, we got Dullahan rocking the Demon Hunter, which honestly I think is probably the best hero against Imperial Guard. This is a bit of a tricky matchup. And then we've got Pig Killer. I think this was Pig Killer. I'm not actually certain. Maybe he's changed his name again. We've got a Russian guy. I am going to call him Pig Killer because I'm just ruthless like that, and if that's not his name, then tough shit. He's getting recognition anyway. We'll see whether he deserves the recognition. He's going to be playing as the Lord Commissar. Now, pretty good initial engagement here for Pig Killer, to be honest. To be fighting with your really weak guardsmen, which don't even have their sergeant, and basically force off the strike squad, because I assume they're going to get forced off soon. They will eventually. But that's a pretty good trade. However, this is not good. I mean, it's never ideal when you don't actually have your sergeants yet, but you're already losing guardsmen, because they're actually going to cost those to reinforce. And if you get your sergeant first, then it means that you're stuck in the base for ages, because you have to wait for the sergeant to come in and then get the reinforcements. So yeah, I don't think it worked out in that instance for Pig Killer to delay the sergeants. I think he wanted them as soon as possible, if I'm honest with you. But I was going to say, this strike squad seems to be overextending at this point. He's probably going to risk dropping the model, but no, he gets out. Now Dullahan obviously wants to get the gen there. What's happened over here? We see the Demon Hunter got kind of... How did the Demon Hunter lose so much health? I'm guessing he was trying to cap a point, so he wasn't fighting back against the Lord Commissar. Because it's not that one-sided of a fight. I think the Lord Commissar does win it. I mean, with the energy shield, that's 850 HP versus 750. He does more damage running in with his pistol, and then I think he does a little bit more damage in melee as well. Now, Demon Hunter's obviously a support unit. Okay, I was going to say, but he does get the Emperor's Torch, which actually is one of the better war gears against the Imperial Guard. So this thing gives damage resistance in an AoE around where you cast it, as well as HP regen. I'm not exactly sure what the flickering light is there. I don't know if that was the visual effect from the Emperor's Torch. I would think not. Cheeky little combo there between the... I feel like there's loads of new visual effects. I feel like it didn't have that sort of burning sensation on it before. Anyway. Always nice to get the Rift Tear to snare them and then hit them with a grenade. Obviously it's harder to dodge things when they're snared. Not so good to be leading with the Demon Hunter himself here. Very low on HP, he's going to get forced off pretty quickly. He's going to drop down the Light of the Emperor, and when they're affected by that, they do clearly get that sort of flickering. As you can see, it makes their HP regen go up quite a bit. Also gives them the resistance. So in a big army versus army engagement, you drop that down to your ranged blob, and it's an immense buff. Especially if you think that your units are in cover, the HP regen essentially is even stronger then, because, well, the effective damage that actually is coming through into your troops is very small, especially for green cover. Granted, this map doesn't have much green cover, so the HP regen will often just offset all the damage. It's very strong. The problem is there's not a lot of actual offensive pressure against the IG here. There's not a lot of burst range damage to deal with the Sentinel or to deal with the Commissar. Commissar could be particularly oppressive if he actually opted for a flak jacket to give him the extra HP and HP regen. Heavy weapons team's a pretty eccentric choice. You really don't see that often in this matchup, and once it's seen, we might see interceptors from Dullahan, but Dullahan looks like he kind of wants to go for a fast tech. But then again, I don't know, if he wanted to go for a fast tech, he should have dropped a gen here ages ago, because he is floating a lot of requisition. Loads of requisition. Or he should have prioritised trying to capture the centre of the map and getting that noded. But yeah, Pig Killer's going straight into tier 2 here off the back of the heavy weapons team, so at this point Dullahan really does not want to be getting interceptors, or he's going to get smashed by a Chimera Rush most likely. But we'll see. Strike Squad and Demon Hunter coming out of base without full health. I mean, that's pretty standard, to be fair, in this matchup. Oh, and now the heavy weapons team is making itself known, but this is a pretty terrible position really for Dullahan. There's no way he can approach this. It's a problem with this map. It's a very laney map. The heavy weapons team being here protects pretty much all of this area, so you have to go all the way down and around. It takes forever to flank around there. What's going on down here? Okay, nice grenade on the blobbed up guardsman. And then the IST are going to run into melee. The IST should win this. Yeah, they win it quite handily. The IST Sergeant is not really that amazing in melee, but the actual, when you get the Acolyte, he is actually really good in melee. Kind of like the Commissar for Guardsman, to be fair. So a bit of an overextension really from Pig Killer's heavy weapons team here. Kind of allowing himself to get easily outflanked there. Quite poor.
Enemy stormtroopers attacking.
I mean, he did manage to snag one strike squad model for what it's worth, but it doesn't look like he even got a single generator, so not really a very good push, and he didn't even manage to capture the EVP for very long. So we've got the Force Rod coming out, which is, again, a really obvious choice against IG. Gives you more energy, but more importantly, it gives you that AoE damage over time and silencing ability. Using that on blobs of infantry can be extremely powerful. Very good for controlling the guard, stopping repairs, that kind of thing. But the problem is that all the AV for Dullahan right now is this Vindicator Assassin. And this guy alone, whilst he's, you know, he does the job, he's good at sniping out heroes, as you can see there, taking off about a fifth of Commissar's HP in one shot. He just doesn't have enough DPS to actually deal with a Chimera that's been repaired by double guardsmen. So he's going to need another source of anti-vehicle to deal with that. We also see the missile launch coming up on the Sentinels now, which are going to be really impressive against these IST. Look, you can see right now with the damage regen, well, at least for a while before the Chimera got involved, and certainly before the frag missiles got involved, the HP regen from that Light of the Emperor was actually basically meaning the IST took no damage from those guardsmen. But really, to make it more effective, you need cover, and there's barely any cover on this map, so it's not great. You can see how ineffective IST are in a straight-up trading situation with those guardsmen. That was Commissar guardsmen, so obviously that means more HP, more damage. But yeah, look, they didn't even lose a single model. Now, they will take a while to heal, but friggin' IST lost 4 models. That's really bad. That's going to cost them loads. I suppose one of the other reasons that the Vindicator was purchased here is that he can really harass the heavy weapons team. But I'm not really sure what the sight range of the Vindicator is. Obviously, it has enough range with the sniper rifle to hit the heavy weapons team. He's going to see it first. That's easier said than done. Now, we do see a Rhino coming out. And that Rhino obviously can get a last cannon, which will put on more pressure onto the Chimera. But the other advantage of the last cannon Rhino is the heavy weapons team for IG have to get a last cannon. And then obviously gets rid of his suppression control. But it's not necessarily the case. If this Rhino is used poorly, it could very well die to the Missile Sentinel. We actually see a bloody Razorback. That's really strange. Wow. Okay. Look at this. 3,200 HP on these guardsmen. Because they're using loyal to the end. This guardsman only has 1,200. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. It lasts for quite a while, doesn't it? Unless it's bugged, I mean... Okay, one off now. Yeah, wow, it really does last quite some time. Jeez, that's pretty strong. Yeah, well this is really problematic for Dullahan. He doesn't have enough AV DPS to actually penetrate the double repairs. And okay, now there's an auto cannon. What's this? Oh, that was the Retribution ability from the Force Rod. That was good. He set up these heavy weapons team, but the Strike Squad really, they're alone, and that's not really good. They need support. I don't know why the Demon Hunter wasn't running into melee himself. So many upgrades pumped into the Strike Squad here, and they're just going to get shot to pieces even on retreat. Wow, this is terrible. I honestly do not know how this game goes on. It looks like Dullahan is getting absolutely stomped right now. It's bizarre. How the hell does he get out of this? IST are bleeding like crazy because they don't even have the Acolyte for more damage resistance. And yeah, okay, he's killing the Orgasm, but Orgasm don't cost that much. Can't actually kill the Sentinel. Okay, the Vindicator's shooting the Sentinel, not the Chimera. So he's doing basically no damage. Wow. Man, this is insane. I honestly don't know how Dullahan gets out of this one. Okay, he's going for a Dreadnought. Wow. So he's doubling down on the vehicles. I mean, that's I guess that's okay, because he's seen that there's an autocannon, not a las cannon. So to counter that, Pig Killer's going to have to get another las cannon, I suppose. Well, another heavy weapons team might not get a las cannon on it. But then you can anticipate that and you can get interceptors as Dullahan. Maybe with good usage of the mobility given by the Rhino, you can get around the side and start taking the map back. But the problem is he's behind on resources. You know, Pig Killer's ahead here. We're going to get to tier 3 relatively soon, to be honest. And he's also behind on VPs. Pretty rough position to be in for Dullahan. So maybe he'll go for like a Melter Dreadnought. Obviously he could go for the Plasma Dreadnought as well. Even if he keeps the Flamer and he gets the Gem Bash, it's not going to do anything. At this point, Pig Killer has way too much power. Oh, what a great flank on the Sentinel. What a great flank. I guess this is how it happens. Beautiful flank on the Sentinel. It died very quick to that. Couple of frag grenades in retreat. Yeah, we get a couple. Okay, that's a little bit of bleed. Doesn't look like it's going to wipe the squad. Oh wow, it comes really close. Jesus Christ. 9 HP over 3 models. Very lucky for Pig Killer there. Even just a shot on one of the die last models from the Vindicator Assassin might have been the end of that. Now where is that Vindicator Assassin gone? He's still inside the Razorback. Might get a rear armor shot. No, he's got his anti-infantry rounds loaded in. Well, that's fine. So he's getting a bit of a Gem Bash off, but as I say, it really doesn't matter at this point. Pig Killer has quite an obscene amount of power. I mean, to be fair, this stockpile will go from 1 Lehman Russ plus a Lehman Russ upgrade. Wow, rear armor hit from that Vindicator just did huge chunks of damage. Now, if the... Oh, have we got the upgrade? Yeah, we've got the Melter Gun upgrade as well for the Dreadnought. What I was going to say is, if the Chimera is just facing the Vindicator Assassin from the front, then yeah, you can out-repair his damage, but certainly when he's low HP like this, you're in risk of just the burst damage taking him out, especially if he gets a rear armor hit with that Vindicator. But yeah, this is still a really tricky situation for Dullahan, because you know, Castle King could already be coming out, but it looks like Pig Killer's just going to save it for a Lehman Russ. He understands that the AV on the field right now is not particularly potent. This Melter Dreadnought, well, it can do a lot of damage, but the problem is it's really short range. So against like a Vanquisher Lehman Russ, what's it going to do? It's going to be tricky, so I imagine that's what he's going to go for. But you know what, it wouldn't be that long until Dullahan can get some power back and can get out a Conversion Beamer Purgation Squad, and I think that would be in tandem with the Vindicator and the Dreadnought. It'd be a lot of pressure on the Lehman Russ, but the problem is, against a good player, it's still not really going to be enough to take it out, because all this shit is quite easy to dodge with a tank. You know, the Vindicator's got a little setup time. Dreadnought's really short range. Obviously, Conversion Beamer has a very long setup time. So you'd have to sort of bait them out, get a good snare with your Conversion Beamer, and then hit them with an ambush, maybe using your Psychic Concealment Global, or your Demon Hunter, to make your Vindy or your Beamer do more damage. But we'll see how it plays out. Okay, for now we actually see Crusaders, which is really interesting. Are they inside the Rhino? I didn't even realise this. It must be, right? Because I can't select them. interesting. Well, I mean, I guess he can just push off all the infantry of Pig Killer and win on VPs. That is an option. Now that Lehman Russ would be able to would be in range to shoot the Rhino in that instance, but obviously he didn't have a line of sight. This is where having the infantry is really important. No upgrades at all in the Lord Commissar. Finally getting something in the Fist of Rockers, but honestly feels like it's a little bit too late. Crusaders coming out at this point. Using their Battle Frenzy trying to take out that Lord Commissar. Might even do it, but now they're in melee with the Guardsmen, or at least they should be. Okay, it looks like the focus is on the other side of the map. The Dreadnought has got into range with the Lehman Russ, but I don't know, man. Yeah, the problem is there's no infantry here to screen, so the Lehman Russ is easily able to isolate the Dreadnought and take it out. Oh wow, the Pig Killer screwed up on his micro, and he actually forgot about this Guardsman squad, which was taken out by the bloody Crusaders. And then the Vindicare comes in with Psychic Assailment, snipes down the Lehman Russ. Wow. And the Crusaders are still in here with one model at this point. Looks like they're going to wipe. Dullahan obviously was trying to flank him with a Rhino to reinforce them and keep them going. They did a lot of work for their costs. Very greedy players from Pig Killer, staying in way too long with the autocannon, unless they get wiped just from IST fire. At this point, these IST are both fully upgraded, one of which is level 4, one of which is level 2. Psychic Fortress using the IST, that was quite odd. I don't really know what the point of that is. It's a Glober for the Demon Hunter. You don't see it very often, but it can be very good on melee squads. It gives extra energy regen to the squad, but it also makes them AoE slow down the speed of nearby enemy troops. So you use it on like Strike Squad or Crusaders normally to stop ranged units kiting you, and to just keep everything tied together so all your range support can do good damage. But I don't really see what it was meant to do there. Wow, Pig Killer just concedes. What an absolute throw. Holy shit, man. And this is why you don't concede in Dawn of War 2. Huge throw. I don't know how he even lost the Lehman Russ. That was just crazy. I guess the shock of losing the Guardsman squad just totally threw him, and it was like, oh shit. And then he wasn't even paying attention to his Lehman, and this cheeky little Vindicare sneaked in with a Psychic Assail, global from the Demon Hunter, buffing his damage, level 3. He must have been doing a lot of damage. Took out that bloody Lehman Russ. Level 3 Rhino. Actually, it ended up working out very well with the heavy bolter turret. Interesting. Well, there you go. There's a bit of Ordo Malleus for you. Nice to see the Demon Hunter for a change. I don't feel like he put in any crazy value, but honestly, this is a really hard map for the Ordo Malleus. Really good map for IG. Not enough line of sight blockers here to exploit your melee, and not a lot of cover either. Anyhow, that's all for today. It's your boy Torpid, signing out.